Hi there, guys. Welcome to the Flow State podcast. Today it's episode 31, and we're talking to each other, just us again. No guests today. We're talking about what are we talking about, Broden?
Well, Cody, we're talking about my current dissatisfaction with the younger generation of today, the education system, its pitfalls. Also, we're talking about Yowies, yetis, the Loch Ness monster, and other cryptozoology topics. Cody?
Oh, that's right, Broden. We go deep into the Loch Ness monster, and I try and convince Broden that it actually does exist, and it's been looked after by a family off the coast of Lake Loch Ness. So,
That's
if you want to find out a bit more about that, tune in now, belt it up your ass, and stay away from the aliens. Peace, kids.
Peace out.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, well, episode 31 of the podcast. Welcome back, Broden. What's been going on? What's been happening?
Mate, just what has been happening, really. I don't know. We did 30 solid weeks with some after parties. You know, there's been a bit light on the after parties lately, but you know, life happens and things get busy. So I suppose you know, you can't have everything, can you?
It's COVID-19, boys. It's COVID-19, so
That's right.
everyone
Calm down.
knows. Everyone calm down. It's
That's right.
COVID-19.
You just calm down, boys. You're not the only one affected by not getting your bloody hour a week, are you?
That's right. Yeah, no, it's all been happening. The podcast, the show must go on. We've been keeping it going. Last week was a lot of fun, and we hope that you're enjoying it out there. You handful of people that listen to this. Yeah,
Handful
thanks.
of Shreks, handful of big old smooth snakes, and we appreciate you all.
Bloody smooth snake, boys. Yeah, yeah. So things are looking good. Things are looking good. Hopefully we're going to be both in the studio sometime soon, recording some proper quality episodes. But right now we're still on Zoom and we're talking to each other from across the town.
That's it. We've got a bunch of new gear out there too, guys. We've made an investment into some equipment that's going to launch the podcast quality through the roof, which is going to be great. And we also have a very special sponsor that is going to be helping us out with some lighting in the studio, which is going to be very, very, very helpful. Keep us looking sharp, sounding great and smooth, Snake. And yeah, we're pretty excited about phase 3. When we can actually get to phase 3 would be really great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all good. It's all happening. You know, I'm feeling a little bit. I'm feeling good now. I went through a stage there of this pandemic lockdown where I was sort of getting all agitated and shitty and fucking losing my shit because I'm just so sick of doing nothing. But then I was like, actually, I'm not really doing nothing. You know, you got to sometimes just take a step back and go, hey, as Tommy Russell says, you're in the 1%, you know, 1% richest people in the world and sometimes you just got to realize that, like when you're living in Australia, you're in the 1%. So
very much true. Very much true. I'm very happy and privileged to be living the life that I am. I mean, you know, I haven't been able to have the time to be a bit anxious about anything because I've been in the thick of having to be at work, and you know, you see a lot of faces, and especially when it's like, hey, you're not supposed to have contact with everybody, and then you're thrown into a place where, you know, people continue to show up even against their best advice. And that's kind of a little bit anxiety inducing at the same time, because I'm kind of, what the fuck are you doing here? Go home. Why are you here? You don't need to be here. Call up. I'll get it ready for you. But you can't say that. You go, hello, sir. How can I help you today?
That's right.
But you know, it's been really good. I'm having a week off right now, which is why I'm so reclined and still puffy in the face from sleeping in, you know, because I'm having the best time ever. It's only a few days in, and I've done so much in like 3 days, you know, more in 3 days than I would have been able to do in 2 weeks of after work time stuff. And oh man, I feel like a different person already. I'm not ready to go back. I'll tell you what, I've already got enough planned that I could have another whole week off and still have plenty of shit to do, you know.
Wow, that's
going to
amazing.
be, yeah, I like, oh man, time off is important. I think everybody, if you've got time off in the bank and you're not worried, you're not sure whether you should take it because, or thing could be a bit lean, or just fucking take it. All right. If you've got to take it, just take it. If you've got time off and you're a little bit stressed, just take it. You'll have a great time. Do what I did. Go, listen guys, I want some time off. When do you want it? As soon as possible. But I know I've got responsibilities, so give me next week to tidy up any of the loose ends there, and then I'll have the week off after that. And then by the time I get back, all my loose ends will be gone, and I'll have new ends to create and tie up. And hopefully everything else that I organise will have been dealt with in the week because I've left specific instructions on how to do those.
Time off, guys.
That's it. Have some time off. Have some time off.
A nice little fucking talk about taking time off.
That's it. And man, it's because I've had time off, right? And because I don't have to be anywhere. I dress nicer in the day.
Yeah, great.
Do you know what I mean? Because like I feel better, and I'm not waking up going, oh, I've got to go, just putting on whatever the same, like I literally wear the same shit to work every day. I wash it all the time, but I got like one hoodie and a jacket that I wear, and then, variations on the same fucking jeans and a couple of pairs of shoes. But like I'll get up and I go, I haven't worn that for a while. Let's see if that still fits. And I'll chuck on some nice clothes. Not to do anything. I'm just walking around the house, but I'm just like, I feel good because I've got a nice pair of shoes on, and, I'm just in the house, just fucking picking up after myself, going, fuck, this is good. I can't wait till it becomes night so I can turn all the main lights off and just keep the lamps on and turn it into night mode. I love night mode in my house. It's the best.
That's so good. That's so good. Yeah, it's fucking, well, there you go. That's a bit of an insight into Broden's clothing and night mode into his house.
I have a bit of a problem with clothing.
Why?
What's that about night mode? No, let's talk about night mode first.
I don't really have anything to say. Nothing that, like, nothing of quality to say about night mode. It's just the way it is, Do
you have a night mode at your house?
Yeah. It gets dark outside, so you put a light on inside so you can see.
Yeah, but I like it because it's relaxed time. It's like putting the blue light filter on your phone, which I recommend you should do. You got me, Smooth Snakes?
Yeah, I've got you, Smooth Snake.
Yeah, cool. I'm having a bit of a jitter on this end, but that's all right. What I was going to say about clothing, boys, is that you had time to do some stuff, had time to go shopping. I'm not a high fashion gentleman, and I'm not a rich gentleman. So, I pop down to the old Kmart's every now and again, grab myself, 15 pairs of socks for $1 each, whatever. But what I did notice, I was picking up a pair of shoes, is that a cheap pair of gentleman's shoes is around $30. That's regarded pretty cheap for a pair of shoes for a fella. And, walking through all the sections and stuff like that, I go past the ladies' shoes section. Cheap pair of ladies' shoes, $3.
Yeah. And they say there's a gender pay gap.
But like they're good quality things, and they're like $3, $5, $7, $9, $14. And I'm like, how? Why? How come I can't like get some cheap clothing that I can wear 1 or 2 times and then rotate them for that kind of cash? But chicks can get not like I want to wear a single cloth piece of one dress. I mean, it'd be really comfortable, I'm sure. But like even this jacket was like $50, where, a lady can pick up a nice jacket for $20 that would look the same. And I'm like, fuck, lucky. I mean, there's lots of other things that kind of suck, but I was just like, it's hard to shop as a guy who's not interested in fashion stuff, because nothing fits you if you're a fat cunt like me. But
I'm really starting to I want to become, how like a cartoon character, like on The Simpsons, they always wear the same clothes, like the same style.
Yeah,
that's what I've always tried to be. Like, I just try and keep it Kmart fucking t-shirt. When that gets a hole in it, which they usually do after about a month, just go back and get yourself another Kmart $4 shirt, boys. And that's just what I've always done. I don't like to wear like super cool, trendy Billabong fucking Billabong. Fucking.
But anybody, if they want to become a cartoon character, all they need to do is not have money, because that's why people like me wear the same clothes all the time. It's called being poor.
You're in the 1%, boys.
Yeah, the 1%. I'm at the bottom of the 1%, right at the bottom.
Oh, no, actually, probably not. because I think like people in Australia that are on the poverty area are still in the 1%. Crazy.
Yeah, they're still in the 1%. Yeah, they're definitely in there, but they're at
Me
the
and my mate,
bottom.
me and my mate yesterday were talking about this, right? He has this thing like he likes to come up with scenarios in his head. Like, okay, here's a scenario: you're in a swag and you've placed out the front of Bunnings warehouse in Epsom, say, and you've got to start your life now with nothing, and you're in your jocks. So
Yeah,
what's the first thing you got
yeah.
to do? First thing you've got to do is get up and get some clothes so people start taking you seriously. But it's a hard one because you've started off in your jocks, so now no one's going to approach you, and you can't approach other people without them sort of going, "Hey, get the fuck away from me." So it's a real sort of conundrum, isn't it?
But you do have a swag, don't you?
You do have a swag, so that's all you've got.
Utilize
But
it.
you've got to start a new. So you get dropped off in a new town. So like you get dropped off in say Shepparton, and it's like right, your life starts from here. How will you go about this? And it's like, yeah, you could just you got to build. What were we talking about? What was the point we were making?
About being in the 1%.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know why I said that, but I did say it.
I
So, but
like the
anyway, it's
theory
like
though. That's a good mind, a good thought game.
yeah, like where do you start? Like where do you go from there? So it's like you're at Bunnings in Shepparton. Is my connection still good?
It's medium, but it's working.
I don't understand anything about this because one day it can all be working really smooth, and then the next day it just doesn't work whatsoever, and it's actually starting to
Yeah.
really frustrate me.
Yes.
But anyway,
Understandably.
it's fucking shit way to do a podcast, but we have to do it.
Mm.
So sorry to the listeners. But yeah, it's a hard thing. It's a
That's okay.
battle to realize, all right, how am I going to start my new life? But I reckon in a day you could have clothes and you could have a couple of meals.
Yeah, easy. I
Yeah.
reckon. So here's what I would do. Um, Lucky enough to have a bit of a mouth on me. So you wrap yourself up in your swag and you go around and go, guys, give us a hand. I'm really sorry. Fuck, I don't know what happened. I just woke up in another town with nothing but me undies and a fucking hair tie. And I put the hair tie around me dick. And
Just to keep it
I'm like, but that's
nice.
that's it, just to tuck it back, so I can get lifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you got to be like, do you mind if I borrow a high vis jacket or something? You know what I mean?
Mm.
High vis jacket and a pair of bloody. Do they sell pants at Bunnings, like Yakka pants or something
Yeah,
like
they've got
that?
all that shit, but I think you'd probably be pushing shit uphill trying to get your clothes and bunnies. It's all pretty expensive. I feel like you'd have to make your way to the nearest salvos and
Yeah,
ask them, "Can I just have a couple of your clothes and I'll pay you back when I get a job?"
I,
You know
I
what I mean?
reckon. I reckon by being plopped at a Bunnings, just spoilt for choice immediately because you've got people who are there doing a charity sausage sizzle, right?
Yeah, you got a
Which
meal
means
there.
you could probably snag some food, and then what you could do is go into Bunnings and say, "Look, I really need these clothes, but you don't have any money. Well, give me the clothes and I'll work them off." And
Yeah,
then you can develop the tools and trades you need at your Bunnings store to do workshops and then to go out on your own as a tradie. So I think you're,
yeah, it's a good
I think
setup. But
Bunnings has got it all. You know what I mean? You can grow there as a career if you want to move through the ranks, or you can gain the skills you need to go out and start your own business.
there was a there was a bloke. He walks around Australia one day. He just fucked off.
Mm.
Like literally, he just goes, "All right, I'm going." Like I just
I
had this.
started running.
Yeah, exactly like that. And like, have you heard of this guy? And he just walks everywhere. He's just like a mad homeless dude who just goes, right, I'm happy with being, I've got my swag. I'm just going to go and, because he had money and he had a family and everything. He just goes, I'm sick of all this shit. And just
Mm.
opened the front door and left. Like his mum thought that he had been kidnapped or something like that. And he just goes, no, I'm just going. And every couple of years, he's like, oh, this guy's coming through Bendigo. And it's just some guy covered in plastic walking with his swag and shit. And he just walks forever. He goes around eating food out of scraps and stuff like that. He doesn't care. He
What
does
a
not
legend.
give a shit about anything.
That's terrifying to organized crime, like industry. You know what I mean? Sorry, I call them organized crime. It's just to society.
Oh,
That's scary to them. You know what I mean? Because they're like, hang on, he can't be controlled. What do you mean he doesn't use his tax file number? You mean we can't get money from him from walking around and eating food that comes from the land which was here for billions of years before humans was? What do you mean we can't take money from that person?
yeah.
He's a
So,
liability.
so yeah, exactly. So it's inspirational, but at the same time, fuck that.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
like
what
my
a
house.
yeah, I mean, like, you know,
But it's all about your mindset. If you're happy and you don't give a shit about going there and going through a bin for some pizza crust and eating that for your meal,
mm,
which is perfectly fine. It's all about your mindset and the way you perceive it. Some people will look at that and go, "That's disgusting." And then other people go, "No, it's food. It's sustenance. I'm living my life." So it's all about perception. So that guy is perfectly happy walking around, just living off just riding the ride. You know what I mean? He's not worried. I feel like he wouldn't even be living in the future, and he wouldn't be living in the past whatsoever. It's just like, what's next?
mm.
And
Well,
that's like that. Like the Japanese have been saying that for years, since the ancient times, that you should be living in the moment. Everything should be in the moment, in the now. Every single moment is precious.
I feel like what you're saying is kind of hinging on another point that I was going to talk about today, which is about. Well, I'll get to the point by going through this guy's story, right? So this guy's daily survival is to find his next food and shelter.
I'd
His
imagine so.
his purpose every single day, the need for him to survive is simply for him to survive, to need to be. So like he has a purpose every single day when he wakes up and he feels like he needs to fulfill it and he will work to fulfill it.
Yeah.
The
If
point
it,
I was getting towards was I feel like a lot of people don't have that and really are quite lazy. There's a generation of people I call the DoorDash generation or the Uber food generation. Those people that they don't have to do anything. It's like they're so lazy they can't even pronounce the words correctly. If you and you know I whinge about this. I was whinging about it this morning in our group chat about
I hear it every week.
the DoorDash thing, right? It's DoorDash, but if you say it without opening your mouth, you get this: DoorDash, DoorDash, DoorDash.
You know what
Like,
it is? It's the
it's
cool
lazy.
way. It's a
But it's
cool
the
way
thing
of
is that they think they're
speaking.
Kurt Cobain because they're like, yeah, just order it on DoorDash.com.au and like, I don't have to open my mouth to even speak. And the thing
Yeah.
is, they don't even have to lift their finger anymore to order the food on their phone. They just need to go, hey Siri, bring me Macca's. Not a problem. And then it's like, would you like your regular order of 2 Big Mac meals and 5 Cokes? And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yep.
someone brings a mom, I want milk, mom, milk. And then it shows up at their phone. I'm horny. Oh. Get on Tinder and they just fucking flick until some bitch shows up at their house. That's what they do because they're lazy. They don't work for anything. This guy has to get up every day, find food and shelter. These guys are like, give me it. I want it. Hey, oh,
Yeah,
mom.
yeah,
And they get
yeah.
angry because they lose a PlayStation, you know, they lose on the game and they go, and they rip the controller apart.
Yeah,
Mom, the
man.
controller's broken. Give me another controller now.
You're talking about me here.
Yeah, when's the last time you broke a controller, shoved it up your ass, and then got your mum to buy you a new one?
I've Here's one for you. Whenever you get angry, put the controller up your ass, put in Gran Turismo, and crash into the barriers.
That's right. That's right. You can do that. It'll make you feel better,
It'll,
loosen you up a little bit.
it'll make you happier. So yeah, just crash into the barriers for a couple of laps.
Better than just sitting on the bloody thing.
It's like
But like,
how do you play with the Gran Turismo game with the controller up your ass, but still able to steer into the barriers?
yeah, what you do is you grab a rubber band and you wrap it around the Joy-Con, and then you wrap it around the so it's
You can
always going that way, and
you can
then you
pull
wrap it
hard
around the
left.
trigger. Yeah, wrap it
Ah,
around the
okay.
trigger,
And
and
then it just
then
goes.
yeah, because the things they're always pulling the accelerator and you're always turning left, right? And then you stick one whole side of the controller up your bum until you get to the other Joy-Con.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so then it
So,
presses. Yeah,
yeah. It
yeah, great.
it presses against the prostate too, so
I've
you
heard
know.
that's a good method for when you're raging on
Yeah,
PlayStation.
you'll be done before you manage to get the whole Joy-Con in.
Yeah, sweet.
Not that I
um,
know anything about that. But yeah, man, these like this is the thing is that I find this in a lot of people take stuff for granted. Not now, you hear that used a lot, that term used a lot, and I'm really not huge on using popular fucking terms. But when you really break down what that means, taking it for granted, like it is granted to me that I will always have this You know what I mean? And then if I don't appreciate this and it's gone, I'll be really upset. With the fuck's me thing? Oh, I should have had it. But the thing is that a lot of people just expect stuff to work for them. You know what I mean? People to work for them, situations to work out for them without actually having to do anything. You know, I see people on a daily basis that want to basically record an entire album in a Hollywood sound, you know, like a big studio sound, and then they come in like, this doesn't work. Like, please tell me why it doesn't work. Well, it doesn't sound any good. Why doesn't it sound any good? Because, and then everyone will say, because I don't possess the knowledge necessary to produce something of a high quality. It's always because the product's wrong, and that it should fix the problem, rather than them having to actually attain a tiny grasp of knowledge. Instead of, no, I just want to spend $300 and have everything work. Well, that's not the case, man. You got to spend $300 and then 4 years of fucking being very interested in it from the ground level up, and not just expecting, well, I'll just plug it all bloody in, don't I? And then I've got the bloody, where's the drums come from? No. You've got to actually have some kind of drive to turn this hobby into something that can be considered a professional thing later on. Until then, you're going to have to pay someone who knows what they're doing to do that stuff. But nobody wants to do that. They want it now, and they want it on an app on their phone. They can just slide open. Another one, Cody. Every time I open up Facebook, I see ads for presets for stuff. We talked about it with Dean Eliotto about the film stuff. There's presets for film.
Presets are popular.
They're very popular, and especially in the music world right now, they've got preset, they're called MIDI packs, and I've never heard that term before, but what they're doing is they're putting a bunch of chords together so that you don't even have to that keyboard in front of you, you don't even have to lay a finger on that keyboard. You go and drag a chord progression from a thingo into your MIDI window so that it's on the timeline, and you've got that chord progression. You can just drag and drop these things. You don't even have to fucking play it because someone's already done it for you. I saw a drummer who's gone, you know, I'm a famous drummer for metal bands. I've put together this pack so you don't even have to fucking know a drummer anymore. So you can just sit there at home and go, drums now, drums.
It allows people to, it definitely is like technologically a fucking, like imagine that, like imagine being in the 80s and going, imagine if you could just make your own fucking music and you don't know what you're doing.
It's amazing, but that one person doesn't deserve it because they've done nothing to achieve it. I don't think that people say, you know, anyone should be able to make music. Yes, they should, but they shouldn't just be fucking handed it. You know what I mean?
But isn't that what electronic music is? You know, electronic music is like, there's always those tool musicians who go, they're not real musicians because they're just playing it on a computer.
No, that's DJs.
Yeah, well, like, it's just like, I don't know. People like, say a classic rock band like Black Sabbath or something like that, who are just brilliant. They worked really hard and they made really, really good music because they're all very talented, all of them collectively.
That's true. But there were also a lot of bands out at that time that were doing just as good, if not better music than they were. They were just the most popular one. But man, like you for example, right now, right? You're earning it. You know what I mean? You've got a thing in front of you. You can play some stuff on there and you can drag some loops and stuff in to do some stuff, but you're still playing things and you're still earning it. Whereas I'm talking more about those, sorry, my eyes itchy.
Itchy eyes,
it gets itchy when I get cranky for no reason. I'm talking more about those situations where it's someone who wants it now, where you've been fucking around for this for long enough to figure out a path between the two things, that you have it as a hobby. Whereas there's people who want it immediately and they want all of it straight away. It's like, hey, I get these ones. Hey guys, I want to make synthwave music. What computer should I buy?
It's never going to happen.
If you have to ask shit instantly, if you have to ask the question, what computer should I buy to make this type of music, then you stop right there. You're not ready. If you have to ask,
you know what everything is. You know what everything in the world is. Every creative thing ever is. It's an apprenticeship, and if you don't do your fucking 4-year apprenticeship, you're not good at it. You suck. Well, and no one will hire you to do the job.
But that's the thing. I've been doing it for 15 years and regard myself as not good at it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but you passed your apprenticeship.
Yeah, and I probably should have done a little better. But but like, that's, you know, if you've got to ask the question about what computer should I buy, then you need to stop and have a look a little better. Or maybe people are going to be assholes. Like, I shouldn't be talking about these people like this right now because it's rude. You should support them and should nurture them and should help them. But then you try to do that and you realize, nah, man, I just want, like, this fruity got presets.
Fucking smooth snake.
And it's like, okay, I'm dealing with fucking idiots here. It's really frustrating. But yeah, you got all this this preset culture of people that are like, I want to get into doing this, but I don't want to have to actually go and buy a camera, learn how to write a story, learn how to film something.
That takes care of itself in the long term, It does. Because people who don't put to get the skills don't be good. So it just takes. It's all like it's a self cycle. It's just a cycle that just.
It is, but the thing is that the part that annoys me is that it's the oversaturation out there that people are trying to capitalize on other people's sort of stuff. Really, really, I hate seeing people getting taken advantage of, and this is a huge situation in which that happens a lot. It's really fucking sad to see, but and people buy it because they want it now. They'll bite on it straight away and they'll get it. And I'm going to have it all. I can have it straight away. I'm going to be toasting a bar tomorrow because I've got this guitar pack. Like, no.
Piece of shit.
Dirtbags.
Yeah, I don't. I've been having a lot of trouble lately. I've been telling people, right, that I don't like to shit. I don't like to do a shit, right, anywhere but my home. Right, and that's just the way it is. Okay, that's just the way. It's the way it is. I don't like to do that. What are your thoughts?
I've heard about this before. Now I think
about me personally.
Yeah, about you personally. I know that you're a home shitter only. I'm just gonna quickly pooing anywhere but home
because it's like. You were saying that like you can do, like you feel like it's a little secret game.
Yeah. So you suffer from parcapresis.
Okay.
Which is also termed psychogenic fecal retention. It's the inability to defecate without a certain level of privacy. The level of privacy involved varies from sufferer to sufferer.
See, everyone should have that.
The condition has also been termed shy bowel.
I've got shy bowel, and everyone should. Everyone should. No one should be that confident that they can just lay a table in public. You know what I mean? People who shit at airports. I don't care.
But it's not in public, though. It's not in public. It's in a private area at a public place.
Have you ever been to an airport toilet?
Quite a nice one, yeah.
It's like Piccadilly Circus in there. Just fucking people in, people out, just constantly people eating lunch in there. Like, fucking hell. There's buskers in there. It's just an absolute, it's Piccadilly Circus. And
I'll tell you what.
If you can sit down and confidently shit your shit out, then you are a very special, confident human being. I consider myself pretty confident. But I'm not that confident enough to go, like, have a person just outside a little bit of plywood there washing his hands and talking to other people and stuff. No, not going to happen ever. All right? I've been getting a hard time for admitting this sort of shit lately. And people are like, what's the matter with you? Nothing's the matter with me. Even dogs don't like shitting when people are watching them. So for a human being to be more animalistic than a dog, it's just fucking disgusting.
I went to a toilet at a strip club once, right? And
oh, good.
Long story. And there was a concierge in the toilet, and he was like handing out towels to people and stuff like that. And I'm like, this guy's looked like a pretty respectable dude. You know what I mean?
I'm sure he was.
Like, the tux and everything. Quite a nice person. I'm just thinking about it like, this guy gets paid every day to sit around and listen to people fucking fart and vomit and then clean up after them. Like, what a modern hero.
Yeah, what a noble profession.
Strip club toilet. So you can't even imagine what goes on in a strip club toilet. But it was the cleanest toilet I've ever been in. I felt comfortable. It didn't even bother me that there was a robotic waiter waiting outside.
I wouldn't be. I'd say, mate, can you just fucking go?
Just back out for a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's like, you ever done the Bali? Like in Southeast Asia, it's like you got to go to the lobby to do your poos because you're in a little apartment room. Yeah, so what you do is you just make up a lie and you say, everyone's done this, right? Everyone that's traveled, it's just like you just make up a lie and say, hey, I'm going to check out the pamphlets in the lobby. And then you walk out, right? And you go and you do a shit in the lobby or at the pool or whatever. And then you come back to the room and say, yeah, it's a bit expensive actually. Like you don't bring, because that's if you don't come back with a pamphlet to keep your story strong. You know what I mean?
Just to keep your story strong. Just
Yeah.
do a shit in the pool. Like, but that's more public than the toilet that's covered. So like, but it's kind of a
But
big
see,
toilet though, isn't it?
yeah, see, this isn't the juxtaposition. This is where I can't keep because I go in overseas, I'm not going to make a return flight to do a bonk at me at home.
Yeah.
So it's like I have no choice when I'm overseas or I'm traveling, right? I've got no choice. But if I
No,
had the choice, I'd do it, right?
shit at
But
home, yeah.
when the choice is taken away from me, when it's removed, well, what am I going to do? And then it's a choice between doing it in the privacy of your own hotel room, but then you've got another person in the basically in the same room. So it's like, what do I do now? So, and then you got to go to the lobby where everyone's eating breakfast or the restaurant. And it's just like, I don't even like holidays because of that.
I can't even enjoy a holiday because of doing a poo.
Yeah, that's how bad it's become, man. That's how bad it's become. And it's just
have you ever thought about talking to somebody about it?
Well, I'm talking about how many listeners do we have? About 30? Talking about 30 people about it right now.
What about like doing a heroic dose of mushrooms and overcoming the fear?
Well, what happens on mushrooms is just completely different ball game, isn't it? It's just like a completely different level of. So if I was to shit anywhere on mushrooms, it's okay because I'm on psychedelics. So it's like what happened wasn't real me, or maybe it was the real me. Maybe it was the more real me than any real that we know. But if you shit, yeah, mushrooms is different, right? Because that takes my thing out of it, if you know what I mean.
Maybe you need to tap into that little state every time you need to shit. You just need to go. I'm in the fucking poo state. Get in the poo state.
Well, I don't like to. You see.
You like pooing?
Probably it's no more. It's probably no more than the next man, you know, or the next woman. Probably the same. Like it's
I love pooing so much, right? Sometimes I want to do this when I'm doing a shit. This is what I want to do because I love pooing so much.
Broden's just backing his chair up. You know, he's leaning back, crossing his arms.
And folding my legs over.
He's crossed his legs.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So you're sitting there like you're in a waiting room.
That's it. Sometimes I wish I could put my feet up while I have a shit.
Don't do that.
You know what I mean? Like I wish there were toilets that I could just recline in and just like let them fall out.
This podcast really took a turn, but I told you I wanted to speak about it. I wanted to get it out there. I wanted to get it off my chest.
I just wanted to have a whinge about some millennials, boys.
I wanted to get it off my chest, if you'll pardon the pun.
The old Cleveland steamer. I tell you what, one time I went into...
That's disgusting. Hang on. Let's talk about those people for a second. And I don't care.
Candace is not going to like this episode.
I don't care if you're upset about this, but if you enjoy getting shit on, you can fuck off. Right? You can fuck off. It's simple as that. And there's heaps of people out there. There's heaps of people that enjoy that stuff. And if you want to, just go away, like get out of it. You know what I mean? Like stop it.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. Shit. Stop that rot.
No one ever. Your mama brought you up wrong. That's what it is.
Let's not go too deep into that. But
well, yeah, it's a bit of filth. Not interested. Not interested at all.
Yeah. I don't care if you're upset, by the way. I'm upset that you fucking partake.
In pooing, it's disgusting.
No, just on each other.
Oh yeah, no, it's filthy stuff. I can't Why though? But what's the benefit? Like to anybody? It's just a mess.
I'd let a horse shit on me.
Why?
If I had to have an animal shit on me, it'd be a horse or a fucking farmyard animal. No meat.
I would say like a
Because
chicken, not a chicken, maybe like a
oh, yeah.
guinea pig or
Oh
something.
yeah, minimal. Yeah, the horse. What place are we where we have to go? Like we go to some farm and the farmer
Yeah,
goes, right, so you got to pick one. Shit
that's
on you.
right.
Which one are you gonna? And
It's going to be
we're not letting you go until you choose one.
what eats the most dry ingredients.
Yeah, yeah. Because
uh,
a horse
I've
shit's just
seen,
literally like a pile of mud with hay in it.
yeah, but like it's very messy.
It is
I want one of those ones who does a type 1 on the Bristol stool form, like dry, hard clumps.
like a
Because
rabbit.
then they just bounce, yeah, like rabbit poo, because it just bounces off you.
Yeah, it's like a rubber bullet.
Yeah, like they should put those. They should have like airsoft,
Rabbit.
paintball games with rabbit shits in them.
I think we're on to something there.
You could probably fucking kill
Copyright.
someone with those though.
Um, copyright that. Patent it. But man, you were saying earlier in the podcast, while we get off this subject of shitting, because we are classy here at the Flow State
It's true.
podcast,
It's true.
lest we forget. You were talking earlier, you're getting all conspiracy on me, saying that it's organised crime. What's organised
crime.
society is organised crime.
It is. It
You're
is
talking
organised
about
crime.
how the banking give out money that doesn't exist.
I mean, look, that's one of them. But like, just think about your entire life is taken away from you at a very early age, and you're being forced into doing certain things that you didn't ask to do. I mean, of
Okay,
course, you didn't ask to do them because you didn't know that you could ask to do them. But I mean, like, from the second you're born, you get at the end of your dick chopped off. If you're a young gentleman, well, I don't think they do that anymore. They start by cutting your fucking knob off. Circumcision I'm talking about.
If you got your knob cut off, you went to the wrong doctor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, mate, I
You just
always
got a
say, mate,
stub.
they took too much off the top, man. I was supposed to have more, right? But shit like this happens to you. You don't get a choice in that matter. They take that away from you, and then they sit you to fucking incubate for a couple of years, and then it's off to school. And so next thing you know, you show up to a place where you're told when to eat, you're told when to shit, like jail, and then you
But
continue to go throughout that process until your late teens, and then you've got a choice whether you continue to go and do that for a longer period of time so you can get another job where you go to, or you go to that job straight away where you
what's the
start.
alternative? What's the alternative to
There is none.
introducing people to society, right? Because I understand totally what you're saying,
Yeah.
and believe me, I have aspects of that same where it pisses me off a little bit, but at the same time, you can't argue that law and order and politics and everything, the way that we've sort of got it now, works because we're controlling a lot of shit that could otherwise be horrible. Like you go to places where politics and law and order may not have as much control over the society, and you couldn't pay me to live there. You know what I mean? You couldn't pay me enough money to live in those places.
But
we
hey,
won't name any places.
That stuff works for those people who will kill you on the street. You know what I mean? That place, that lack of law and order only works for the bullies, right? So we've got a system that's catered for everybody. People that are allowed to have DoorDash on their phone so they don't have to do anything, because mum will just be at work anyway, right? But that's the thing, is what is the alternative? There really isn't one, because there's never been anything else tried. Well, yeah, I'm sure there has, but what we've got now, obviously it works for the majority, which is why it's there. But like, the education system works for most kids. Not all kids.
It definitely doesn't work for most kids. You got to. I feel like we could be doing better in the This is my opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm not educated. All right. So it's just a thing that I think. But I feel like if people were taught the quest of knowledge as opposed to learn this thing, this boring calculus shit. But what do you want to learn about? Cool. We have these facilities where you can learn about that specific thing and become a master expert at it. You like music, Broden. Imagine if you could have gone to school and learned absolutely everything there is to know. You had like one class every day where you would just go and you'd make music, or like not go and play the recorder at school, not learn that music. Go and make your own shit. Be creative and be fucking. I understand there's like 50% or 60% of the population who actually are creative and have a creative mind.
Yeah.
But then there's a whole other bunch of people that they're not. They don't want to be creative. They're not wired that way, and they're more interested in being organized and industrious.
See, I feel like you just described my school experience, though, in the sense that imagine if there was one period a day or whatever that you can go and do that stuff. The problem with it was there was 30. I was from when they had 30 kids in a class. There's 30 kids in a class that last for 45 minutes.
Mm.
That that class isn't there for me. It's for the person who's interested. It's for the person who they need to grab. And this is the thing. I really like what you said about it should be about the quest. And let's coin a phrase here. It should be about the quest, not the test, because a lot of the way that education runs at the moment is based on test results, because they want numbers at the end of the year. They can say 45% of these students did this, 97% of the students passed, and then the teacher at the end of the year gets congratulated on a good job, which they should, because they have a hard fucking job. And especially in a situation in which I'm talking about, where you've got kids now that are having more recognizable learning dysfunctions than ever, because they know about so many more of them now. So you've cut the class sizes down. You've got a few kids in there that need a little bit of extra attention, and you've got one person at the front of the room that has to cater to all of that. Fucking hell, they should be paid fucking double. I know the teacher always whinging about their pays or whatever, so they fucking should. If you're not prepared to teach your kid, then they've got to do it, which is, their job. Yeah, they signed up for that, but they have a hard fucking job. And trust me, by talking shit about education, I'm not talking shit about teachers. They do a fucking great job, and I commend all of them. However, not however on the teachers, however on the education system, you don't have any connection to the world. You have a connection to the task that is laid out for you. I did a couple of, mostly creative electives throughout, year 7 to 12 or year 9 to 12 or whatever. And I hated them so much. I learned some very basic skills on how to do what I needed to do, but then the tests that they would set for you were either so far out of your league, unachievable, or way too easy that they would become very easy to be bored in, because the learning experience isn't tailored to the individual. It's tailored to the test requirements that are needed to be met. And if you don't meet that bar, then you don't get through to the next thing. So there's no point in you even existing. They don't give a fuck about you anymore. Get out of my class. You're not going to fucking make my test results any better. You have to go to the dickhead class now. So off you go to the dickhead class, and you just get pushed down.
That's on the point of your quest for knowledge. It's like, okay, you can get through school not achieving those bars and shit like that. And we live in a time now where you can educate yourself. You can educate yourself if you have that quest for knowledge. See, I want to become smarter every day. I want to learn something new every day. So I do. I go on and I fucking learn something on YouTube.
There's a YouTube channel called Smarter Every Day.
You can't not, as long as it's unbiased facts and, shit, as long as you can make sure that, to that level, that what you're learning is actually true, you're learning. It's like there's only so much you can get out of school and the Australian education system. There's only so far you can go, and for some people, and for every individual, that level of how far you can go changes. But outside of school, you can literally go any way you want, and that's one thing you couldn't do at school. You could not go, oh, I want to learn the guitar. It's like, well, we don't do guitar lessons at school. It's like, well, fuck you. I'm not in school anymore. I can learn the guitar. Imagine if there was a bit more freedom in what you were learning. Imagine if because I now understand. When I was at school, I didn't understand that quest for fucking learning shit. I didn't realize that I could learn anything I wanted. And now I regret that, because I'm not as good a reader as I probably wish I was. I'm getting better at public speaking because I do that now, but I sucked. I'd like to be better. I'm no good at math. I'm no good at all that shit. But now it's not over for me. It's all just beginning. I can fucking open the YouTube and I can learn about the history of the Tudors, or, all that shit is just there for us now. Imagine if there was that freedom in the education system. That's my point.
And there are some freedoms in other education systems, but not in the public one. Like at this point in time, what you say about, you can go and learn anything. The the bottleneck on that whole situation is that the reason you have to go and do this time is for you're only putting in the hours so that when you go to the next level of that, you've got a recognized form that says, yep, he showed up, yep, he was there. And that's your ticket into industry. And that's the thing, is you've been in industrialized this system to the only way that you can go and work for these people is if you have proven that you have got the skills. Of course, because you need to know that you've got the skills. However, I know people who are better electrical engineers that have no qualifications than some that do, because they showed up. And if you want to get educated and if you want to get a PhD, you can. All you need to do is show up, put in the time, and do what they say. You can do it if you do what they say when they say it. None of, oh, I'll have a look at that when I get home. It's like, I want you to do 1,000 words on the history of the syringe. You go, all right, 1,000 words on the history of the syringe. You get working and you do it, and then you finish it as soon as you can. And then they go, okay, what's the next one? Oh, well, we'll wait 2 more weeks for other people to get in, so you can do whatever you want between then. If you want extra credit, you can do this. You just do the work. You put in the yards, you get the certificate, you do the work. However, if you have a passion project that you want to get really, really, really good at, you go and get good at it. No one's going to give you a job unless you qualify, because you need to meet safety measurements. You need to meet. This is the thing. It's gone to that point where everyone's covering each other's ass. It's liability. If you fuck up, we need to make sure that you knew that this was happening, because at some point there can be pinpointed. On the 26th of January 2012, you were taught this safety protocol, and you should remember this day and this safety protocol you were taught. It's written here on your certificate. Now, you fuck that up, you're liable for it, not us. So you can't sue us for that going wrong. You know, yeah, we knew this machine was faulty, but it was your job to check that if it was faulty or not. Therefore, you're missing a leg, and you can't sue us for it because you did the safety protocol. So the whole thing's a big bunch of ass covering. But there's a couple of really interesting education sort of programs that are out there. I mean, homeschooling's one of them. Got some friends that I know that homeschool their kids. They do it with a really strong religious sort of thing, which is not my bag, but hey, brainwash your kids. You do what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But look, that's what we're talking about. Every form of education for a young person is brainwashing. People don't like to use that word because it's associated with really negative stuff, but I want to be brainwashed so that I can shut the fuck up and accept this stuff and stop questioning it. I'd be really happy. Ignorance really is bliss. And if someone could just shut the fucking voices up in my head that start asking questions, I'd be really happy to just go, that's fine.
Do you believe in a Bigfoot? In a yeti? In a fucking
I'll get to that in a minute, but I want to tell you about this education system. I do want to talk about the Bigfoot. But so think Steiner schools, I mean, it's
fucking teaching people.
Get your cash out, boys. If you want to do that stuff,
homeschooling's really good.
Oh yeah, but like the thing is, this is it. People go out and they spend millions of dollars on education for their kids. I'll tell you what, every kid that I've known that has gone to a Steiner school has turned out to be an extremely internally happy and a successful person. So, I mean, there's got to be something working there. I don't know what the fuck goes on there. Apparently, they don't even learn how to like read until they're like 6, because they're just like, hey, what colors do you like? Yeah, cool. Go and find things that are that color. And like, they get these kids to do whatever the fuck they like. And I'm like, that sounds sick as hell. I mean, yeah, sure, you're kind of dumb until you're 6 until you learn how to read. But all the kids that do that get a really, really interesting grasp on the world, because they kind of get to make friends with nature before, you know what I mean? They have a connection to the earth. So they do, wildlife rescue. They do this, they do that. They somehow manage to make money out of it, own a house, do all that normal people shit too, and not hate themselves and not hate their job and not hate their friends and not hate their family. They tend to be pretty happy people. There's got to be something else. There's got to be another way to do stuff. And the thing is, unless everybody turns off and does all that right now, then it's, this is what I want to know. I want to know, how do we make that better? Is that how we do it? But even with over the last 5 months that people have had to do homeschooling, I know that that's not working for a lot of people. They're getting upset. They need to be out there talking to people. They need to be at school. They need to be doing that kind of stuff. But what's the answer? I don't have it. I don't know. All I know is that the experience that I had with it was probably not only the fault of the system, but the fault of me being unwilling to comply with it, I suppose. And
Yeah,
I
you're
suppose I
fucking
didn't
conspiracy
get
boys.
brainwashed hard enough.
You're conspiracy
Um,
theorist. You're tinfoil hat wearing
yep,
fella.
yep.
You're a
Put
fucking
put me on the front. Put me on the front of the paper.
put you
Call
on
me
the
a
front of
kook.
the paper. Yeah,
That's
you're
right.
a kook, boys.
That's
You
right.
fucking
That's right.
you believe in all the conspiracies, boys.
This is the thing. My mate Austin thinks that I believe in all the conspiracies, and I'm like, no, I don't. Why? Because I like UFO videos. He's like,
Yeah, you
no,
believe in all the
you're a nutbag. You're a mad conspiracy. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Before
I
you went
just
on, you said you were going to come back to. You believe in the Sasquatch, boys. You believe in
I don't. I don't.
you believe that there's a
No,
Yeti.
I don't.
Apparently,
Yeah.
that Sasquatch can't walk like that. Like if it was a human, humans can't walk like that. Because you know what? You know what it does when it walks? It fucking bends its knees and its ankles and its fucking shoulders and it keeps its head. Its head never changes level. It's like a gimbal. And humans can't do that even if they try.
I need to show you a video of my friend Dan
The Sasquatch is a real, boys.
doing a ribbon walk. You know those they tie the ribbon between two trees and you try to balance along it.
Yep. He's walking
There's a
like Sasquatch.
video of my mate Dan walking on that, and his legs are going like this, but his head is just fixed. But I mean, he's not a Sasquatch. He's short. But I don't know, man. Like I think I've seen.
You believe in all the conspiracies.
Well, I think I've seen it. I think I've seen a panther in regional Victoria, but also it could have been anything.
A Sasquatch.
It's not a Sasquatch. There's no Sasquatches.
There is, man. There's people
Where
who
are
dedicate
they?
their entire life. They're in the woods, the thick, dense Californian woods.
No, there are. No, that's movie sets.
No, they're in there, and they fucking stink. They're gassy. They're stinky, gassy motherfuckers, and they're out there. They're big, fucking stinky.
They're out there going, "Get out of my swamp."
Man, and you knock on the wood, and it comes. They like that.
Dude, woodpeckers are native to California.
Yeah, that's why that's exactly because that Sasquatch like that noise. So therefore, because there's a high population, there's a dense population of woodpeckers. That's why there's a dense population of yetis. Yetis and Sasquatch is the same thing.
Yes. Sasquatch was named after the guy who thought he saw one, I think. And, there's Yowies, Australian Sasquatches.
Yeah. No, but they're not. Was a Yowie a Sasquatch, or was it more of a beast, like a lizardy fucking beast?
No fucking clue.
Yeah.
No fucking clue.
I think there's a little bit of a difference. Like they're an animal that's sort of a conspiracy animal.
Do you believe in Loch Ness monster?
Yeah, I think that there's no reason there couldn't be a big fucking fish in there. Big fucking fish with a neck.
When does it come up for air?
Every time then there's no one around. It's got a stethoscope thing, and it looks out. No, and he's got fishermen who are. There's a whole family, right? This is Stuart Lee. Stuart Lee taught me this. A comedian. Should look him up. But there's a family that live off the shore of off Lake Loch Ness, and their whole life, like through the generations, was to look after the Loch Ness monster because he gets them like fish. He brings them fish to the beach and goes, there you go, keep looking after me. So they've got a horn, and when the fucking scientists are coming, they blow the horn. They go, whoa! And the Loch Ness monster goes, oh. That means the scientists are coming. So now I've got to go into a crack. And he goes into a crack. And he hides and he waits until the boat goes past with the scientists because they've got a radar because the radar's pinging. And the Loch Ness monster goes, no, I'll go in a crack, right? And he gets in a crack. Scientists go away and then he comes out, looks through the stethoscope again. And he goes, it's all clear. And that's when people get the photos from a distance. That's why they're always shitty photos because he looked on his stethoscope like no one can get close.
A stethoscope is what a doctor uses. You mean a periscope?
I knew I had the wrong words in the word go, but because you didn't correct me earlier.
I didn't want to. It was going to be even better.
But that's exactly how the Loch Ness monster works. And because it's not a fish, right? It's not a fish.
No.
It's a dinosaur.
It's a diplodocus.
Yeah, and it's one of those dinosaurs that don't have feet. Their feet are actually fins, right?
Yeah.
But it can still go.
Diplodocus.
You know, like a diplodocus has feet though, doesn't it?
Nah, it's got fins. Brontosaurus is the on-land version.
What a diplodocus was that? Just a long neck motherfucker.
I'm looking it up right now.
But
Fair
anyway,
enough.
it's like a you know when a walrus comes onto the land, right, and it scurries about with its fins. That's what
Yeah.
the Loch Ness monster does to that family. When it makes, because every day he does a delivery of fish. Right?
Diplodocus has feet, boys. There you go.
Yeah, I told you, bonk. And you're here correcting me on what stethoscopes are.
I typed in Diplodocus water version.
It's the new Diplodocus water version.
The bloody water version. That's right. Oh,
So yeah, he
where's
makes a fish delivery in return for his protection.
safety. Yeah.
For
Where are the
horde.
rest of them? Where do you reckon the rest of them came from?
There's a family of them.
Yeah.
It's a family of them. They just lay eggs in there, and then the next generation crack the egg and they come out.
So you've seen, how many photos have you seen of Loch Ness Monster?
There's a few. There's about 6.
Yeah. Are they all literally just this?
Yeah, it's definitely. It looks like a guy with a sock puppet.
It's just, that's all it is, guys.
It's Kermit the
It was
Frog.
it was a guy swimming.
Yeah. No, see, that's the problem. There was a stethoscope all along. So he's made the stethoscope to look like a Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
Because when you're hiding in plain sight, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. So he's the head on the fucking stethoscope. It looks like a Loch Ness monster.
The one picture that I've seen is of, like, pretend this is the Loch Ness Monster. This is water level.
Yeah, it's the black and white. It's the
Right?
classic.
And it's like the guy's head's underwater and the shoulders up really high. But like that's supposed to be the body. But have a look at the water ripples around it. They are not the right size for that to be massive.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's just a guy's arm.
Its body's really low down, so it doesn't matter. The ripples are only coming off its neck.
No. I mean the actual waves in the water, like, the regular standing waves in the water.
Well, let's agree to disagree on the Loch Ness.
So the study of all these mythical creatures is called cryptozoology, right?
Well, what else is there?
Oh, oof. I mean, aliens is one, but they're not of this world, so they can't be real good zoology. What else is there? So what have we've covered? Bigfoots. We've covered bloody Loch Ness monsters.
Yeah.
Yetis, Sasquatches, Yowies. I don't know. What else is there?
There's a lot of like dirty fuckers. Like every country has their own dirty fucking putrid things that live in the bush.
What about like elves and gnomes and shit? Do you reckon like fairies?
No, that's going too far because.
Do you only not believe in them because they're a variation on a human form?
I don't believe in them because they're mythical, whereas the Yeti is like an ape. It's like a different version of us. So it's like it's an offshoot. Whereas an elf or a fucking fairy or whatever you said they're mythical creatures, and the Loch Ness monster's a dinosaur that just never died because it went in a crack and the media came.
It was in the crack.
It's got a crack that it hides in, and no one knows that it's got the crack.
Do you reckon that was a meteor that was powerful enough to send a nuclear explosion all the way around the world?
I feel like it was I don't think it was a nuclear explosion. I think that it was enough to damage the Earth's atmosphere, enough to trigger that brought on countless ice ages and basically climate change on a mass scale. And over about the course of about 2 generations, every dinosaur is dead except for the crocodile.
Because they were underwater in a crack at the time.
They go and crack. They're in Darwin in a crack.
On some crack.
I'm on crack.
Boys,
that's conspiracy 101. Do you reckon that the queen's a lizard or what?
Look, I like the idea. Figuratively, I think the idea of calling someone a reptilian is very accurate. I don't actually think that they are a real multi-dimensional lizard from another dimension that shapeshift. I think that by going, this person is slimy, snaky, scaly, that kind of reptile, I believe that. But I don't think like their blood's actually green.
Yeah, well, that's what they think, and they think that there was a guy who his whole profession is looking at people's eyes, and he reckons that there's like a percentage um, of the population, a very small percentage, that actually have reptile eyes. They've got a long, skinny pupil instead of a round pupil.
Yeah, right.
And he said that that's true.
Well, there's a lot of photos of the
That's
Queen
an
out
eye.
there.
That's an eye professor.
There's a
So
lot of queens out.
argue
There's
with
a lot of
that.
photos of the Queen out there and the royal family. So maybe you should have a look at that. But like, I see a lot
Wow,
of old
argue
people.
with that.
I see a lot of old people that look like they could be lizards, but that's because their skin's all old.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because they're wrinkly, scaly.
Let's offend everybody this episode, boys. Episode 31. Everyone's offended.
We've said we were going to double down on the humor. We said we were going to go into phase 3 with the new thing, with the more attitude.
Sorry, I took us down the fucking getting angry about education path, boys. I'm having a holiday. I should be relaxed.
Yeah, you should be relaxed, man. But you went all skits. You went all skits about education. Fucking education. I went to school for 20 years. It's fucking frog shit.
I only went to school for 20 years because they held me back twice every year.
Because you were too busy going, this is fucking bullshit.
This is bullshit. They come over and they put their hand on your back. It's okay. We'll finish it off next year. You know, when you
would have been
tables,
a school shooter, I think. If you were
that's why they kept me back. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just a crazy time we're living in. We got a big guest coming on. Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Yep.
For next week, but
yeah. Oh, I can't wait, man. We've been chasing him down for a few months. I mean, I think we started talking about it in April.
Yeah.
And we made contact, and we've been looking around. We've been trying to get this guy. We made the announcement on our Patreon only forum, but alas, we haven't been able to nail the guest down so far. But we're
very busy man. But
very busy man.
Next week you're going to see a great big popular and unpopular at the same time. Guest, on the Flow State podcast. And very soon we're going to be back in the new studio, and we're going to be having a lot of fun here. I'm actually in there now.
Yes.
And it's really nice. It's really nice, good fun time in here. And I can't wait for things to start getting better in the community, in the COVID-19, and everything gets better and they're back to normal, and that everyone can be happy again and stop yelling at Dan Andrews, because Dan Andrews is a man doing a job. All right.
He is, just like we are. And now, if you want to help a man do a job, you can go on to our new Facebook event, which is called Get on the Cones with Dan Andrews.
That's right, Broden. You can sign up to that event, and it's at Federation Square. Though the event is it's a false one, because we understand that social distancing should be abided by, and we're not really going to have 350 people rock up to Federation Square.
Exactly. But if you do want to watch memes about Dan Andrews smoking marijuana, which we think is quite a lighthearted way to deal with the situation, then you can go and Get on the Cones with Dan Andrews on Facebook, November 14th.
Right. And what else do we have going on, bro? I think that I feel like we've got a few things that we need to plug there.
Yeah, well, you can go and check out our website, which is flowstatepodcast.weeblysite.com, where you can pick up one of our famous Flow State Podcast t-shirts.
That's right. They're available now for shipping. You can have one shipped directly to your doorstep and wear it. You can wear it to the shops. You can wear it to the petrol station. You can wear it to the Bunnings.
That's right.
You can wear it in the car. You can go to McDonald's with it.
That's right. You can wear it. You can wear it wherever you like, as long as you pay for it. We've got limited sizes. We're running out. It is our final batch of those ones. We're going to get some new shirts when those ones are all sold out. Those shirts, the funding from that goes to help us continue the podcast and pay for certain things, which we really appreciate.
That's right.
We also
Patreon.
have 2 comedy specials on
Oh, yes.
the website for sale for $5 each. There's a 1 hour long Cody Jones Comedy Festival 2018 and a 1 hour long Cody Jones featuring Broden Minogue Comedy Festival 2019 Bendigo Comedy Festival sets that you can pick up for $5 each, or you can become a
Patreon, and you can get those 2 comedy specials Broden just spoke about with your sign up fee, and it costs just the price is just as low as $1 a month. You can become a Patreon and help support the podcast even more by becoming a part of the team and joining our little chat forum where we hang shit on each other in a little group, and you can become one of those for just $1 a month.
That's right.
We'll do that. We've got a few sponsors that are coming on board for the Flow State podcast very soon. Do we need to mention them now, or should we wait? Bro, no, I don't know what to do. I know Honest Personal Training is one. Check out Honest Personal Training. They're doing a lot of good stuff with the COVID things, the quarantine and self-isolation and all that stuff. You can sign up and lose some weight and get fit and do stuff all from the comfort of your own home and be monitored by a professional.
That's right. Honest Personal Training, Jaron, thank you very much. He's the reason why I don't look as thin as I should at this point for the amount of time I've been doing it. But hey, guess what? I'm having a good time. I'm learning new stuff. And I know that once this is over, it's not going to be the end of the road because I've got the skills that I need now to eat better and do all that kind of stuff. We've got a few integrations coming up with a few companies around town, which we're looking forward to presenting to you guys. Yeah, really excited about working with some new guys. People are really getting on board and helping us. They really like to watch it. Hopefully they continue to like to watch it. New guests, new studio, new everything. It's going to be good. New theme song, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
we don't know.
We're working on it. We're working on it. But
working on some tunes.
Once again, the reason we keep going is because of you listeners at home and you viewers on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. Keep watching. So thank you to you guys. Hey, if you want to support even more and help us out, you can leave a review on iTunes. Give us a follow on Spotify or iTunes.
Share.
Give it a share. Give us a 5-star review. Really helps us go towards where we want to go, which is up. And also on YouTube, become a subscriber. Get all the clips. Get all the other shit that we do. And thank you once again. We hope you enjoy the podcast. Hey, and reach out if you want us to say something about you or do a trick or a stunt or something. We can do that for you. But yeah, thanks, Broden.
No worries, guys. This has been episode 31 of the Flow State podcast. Never shit yourself. Stay away from the aliens and belt it up your ass.
Belt it up your ass. Gran Turismo style.